I'd like to call to order the March 11th, 2024 meeting of the West Bridgewater School Committee. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
A moment of silence. A listing of matters on tonight's agenda are those reasonably anticipated by the chair, which may be discussed at this meeting. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by law. This meeting is being shown live on cable and is being live streamed on the West Bridgewater Community Access Media website, WB-CAM.org. A recording of this meeting will also be made available on the WB-CAM.org website. First up is the approval of minutes from our February 5th meeting. However, these minutes aren't quite complete yet, so we'll hold off on approving those until our April meeting. So next up under business is the Student Opportunity Act, which is a voting issue. Mrs. Youngs.
Good evening. So in 2019, the Student Opportunity Act was made, and it calls for every district and charter school in the state to develop a 3-year plan. It's referred to as an SOA. Districts' plans identify where data reveals disparities in student learning opportunities and outcomes for the student groups that they serve, and describe how they will utilize evidence-based approaches and strategies to address those disparities. So when I completed the Student Opportunity Act, there are evidence-based strategies, and based on our data indicating that our high needs population shows a little bit of a disparity in achievement, we will be implementing the following evidence-based programs to address the disparities. So supporting curriculum implementation, comprehensive approach to literacy, early literacy screening, and expanded access to preschool. Up on the screen it says, we're going to ensure teachers and administrators receive training in PD and evidence-based practices to support students academically and socially and emotionally through our use of high-quality curriculum materials. So we've adopted Written Wisdom, which is high quality, for our ELA program K-8. And in math, we have illustrative math up at the high school, and that's where some of the bigger disparities we're seeing. We're going to provide a comprehensive approach to early literacy that will be done through using integrity, written wisdom, and foundations, and our early literacy screener goals, and expand access to preschool for rising kindergarten students. So in the SOA, it stated how we would be how we would look at preschool in the upcoming years. And then Commissioner Riley, closing these gaps is our collective work for the next decade, and the SOA will fuel our efforts to ensure that all students achieve at high levels and are prepared for success after high school. We've already gone through one round. We've had it from 2020. We had to do some amendments in 2022, and this is the new round. So, are there any questions?
Yes, I was waiting. So I reviewed your, what you said, the Student Opportunity Act and the plan. It's very thorough, so thank you. I just wanted to ask some questions, and I know we kind of talked a little bit about this, regarding how the Student Opportunity Act plan relates to the Student Opportunity Act in terms of Chapter 70 funding. Because I know that the Student Opportunity Act was put into place to make sure that high needs students are identified, high needs being special education, EL students, and low income, which is why our Chapter 70 has kind of increased over the last couple of years. So I just kind of wanted to get an idea about on the budgetary impact of our plan.
So I used our budget and based it on 3 years out. We may end up changing, adjusting, and if we have more high need students next year, we may have to adjust based on what we have currently and based on our budget. That's what I used.
Yeah, no. I mean, we have the figures in front of us in terms of the cost of curriculum and the cost of.
And that fluctuates too, so that was based on
Yeah.
current. And those are 3-year numbers.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Thomas, for putting this together.
It was my
A lot of work, a lot of time, and a lot of research goes into it, so thank you for all your hard work.
All right, I would like to entertain a motion to approve the Student Opportunity Act plan submission as presented. Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. All right, next up, budget.
All right, well, thank you. A week ago, we got a chance to go through the whole budget, provide you with some rationale and information on the budget, and where we're at an ending point. So we spent the past week looking at those numbers, seeing if we can make any adjustments, taking into account things that we've heard, and working with our administrators, and we found a way to modify a little bit. So I just want to go through those changes today for your to get to know what they are. So we were able to look at the FY25 budget and decrease it $50,000 in 2 different areas. We looked at some staff reductions through retirement that kind of came in somewhat late for us, and other smaller changes for some staffing. So we take 25,000 off from the staff, and we're looking at increasing user fees. I know it's not always popular increasing fees, but our fees are pretty reasonable compared to area districts. We have a one-time fee of $250, and they can pay up to 3 sports. Again, we don't like having people pay more, but our athletics are a big part of our school program, and I think it's important to help to continue to fund that, to do that increase. So that reduces our budget by $50,000. And then we looked at something that we had talked a little bit about here last week, some of our related services. How can we get more bang for our buck, basically, in our related services? So in our budget, we are pointing for CODA. We looked at changing that CODA, which is working with students, to a point for OT. That's 2 days a week. They can come in, they can test, they can see kids, they can report out at meetings. There is an adjustment of $10,000 from where we budgeted. We budgeted Masters 5. So that would be an increase. But we really felt that this would provide more services for our students and take some of the pressure off our staff. So that together, so that 50,000 and an additional 10 reduces us by a total of 40,000. So this slide is very similar to the one we had last week. It just, the numbers are slightly adjusted. So what we were able to do is basically move down. I'm going to skip ahead. I should have put a little bit more. So our overall budget was able to decrease from 7.17% to 6.93%. If you take out the ESSER cliff school choice with that extra money, it reduces from 5.90 to 5.66. If you take out that funding that we knew was kind of coming to an end, and we know school choice continues to drop. I'm just going to go backwards a little bit though, just so you can see that where the numbers add up. For overall increase of 6.93%. And then this just shows, again, the same slide we had last week. It just shows you the overall numbers of the total school budget that we have minus the school contributions. That was $17,585,000, and then the percent increase of 6.93%. Really, those are the major changes. Again, it's not a huge decrease, but we hope to try to find a way to 10 decrease. And as we know, we've said many times, the budget is very fluid. We have people coming and going, we have people who are hiring, member staff may leave for certain reasons over the summer, students may move in, but we're always required to provide services. So just want to provide you the updated amount.
And do you have, first of all, thank you both for making the adjustments, I appreciate it. I know I'm not always easy to work with, and I had some feedback on these numbers, but I appreciate the change from CODA to OT. I think that is going to make a major difference for your special education staff. I appreciate, I don't want to increase fees, but I think that athletes and their families get a really good deal for the price they pay, and it's just something that needs to be done to kind of buffer our budget. So I'm in support of the changes. I'm just looking at the FY25 subtotal. When you take out the choice grants and revolving, and it's 17.5. Do you happen to have the foundation budget off the top of?
I have some form on the right.
I have it, Thanks.
Or what we're supposed to be spending next year?
FY25.
Yep.
15,986, 752. And that's up about, listed here from
Yep.
the DESI website, about 4.83% over FY24.
Okay, so it's about 1.5 million over. And I know last week I'd asked you to kind of look at the foundation and how it changed. I was going to do the same. I didn't have the opportunity to do it, but I know that the required spending required by the state for us has gone up pretty significantly over the last couple of years. So I think that this is a reasonable number. I know looking at that 20 million is scary. I know that, but I think it's what's required to provide our students the education.
And I think, thank you for that. I think one of the things to look at that's important too is when you look at and take out the ESSER, and that money comes back. And I know it's still a total amount, but the reality is minus ESSER and the school choice numbers that are decreasing due to our, we don't have the room anymore, a 5.66% increase.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, as I said last week, I think it's beneficial that we're shifting toward a more proactive approach with the budget. The fact that our number of school choice applicants consistently goes up shows that we want children to join our district because of what we offer. I feel like this budget's very fair. It meets the current needs of the students and staff of WB. It puts the school district in a good place for FY25 and beyond, while taking into considerations the other needs of the town. So thank you to both of you again for all your hard work. Cooperative, collaborative approach is always the most productive way to support our schools and ensure the ongoing success of the town. I'd like to make a motion to approve the FY25 school budget as presented, with a 6.93% overall increase for the town's contribution, which, less the ESSER cliff and school choice reduction, equates to a 5.66 increase. Is there a second? Second. Moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
I just want to say there's always a long list of things that we want, future needs. And I think you've done a great job of working with us to try and accomplish as much of that as we can right now without making a huge impact on the budget and bringing an extra cost to the town that we really don't want to put on all of the taxpayers. So I feel this is a very fair budget, and I think we've done an excellent job with it. So thank you for your work.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Thank you. Moving on to public comment. Members of the audience wishing to address the committee may do so at this time. Audience members shall limit comments to 3 minutes and are reminded that public comment is not a discussion, debate, or dialogue between individuals and the school committee. Personnel issues or issues that would violate student or employee confidentiality cannot be addressed during public comment. Okay, seeing none, next regular school committee will be held on Monday, April 5th, 2024 at 6 p.m. here in the Learning Commons.
April 8th.
What did I say?
Misspoke. April 5th.
Oh, is it the 8th?
Yeah.
That. The 8th. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Great. Thank you very much. Have a good night.